Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Taylor. I'm here with my co-host Jimmy on the Roots of Life podcast. If you would like to know more about the Roots of Life podcast, continue to listen, go to the backlog, check out the episodes. If you want to reach out to us at all, you can hit us up at the Roots of Life podcast at gmail.com. There's also our Twitter handle, Roots of Life Pod. Feel free to hit us up with questions, comments, suggestions, anything you think we can improve on, anything you'd like to see us do or talk about. We are totally open to it. We love you all. Thank you for listening. This is the very first episode of the Roots of Life podcast in 2017. Jimmy, I'm happy to be here with you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Happy to be here. How was your New Year's?
It was pretty good. It was quiet, I think, would be one way of putting it, as opposed to the way that most people probably like to spend their New Year's.
Yeah, I feel like I had a similar quiet New Year's.
Yeah, I just ended up spending some time with the girlfriend. We went back to her place after she got off work at 12:30, so I ended up having my New Year's kiss at a keg, which is not even that unordinary coming from two people who grew up working in a keg establishment.
Yeah, that's just a normal New Year's for us.
Yeah, so it was pretty awesome. I had a good night. We went back to her place, had a couple drinks, didn't really do much, and then we just hit the hay, woke up, made a breakfast and everything, and it was a good time. And out in Surrey, there is crazy snowfall going on right now.
Oh my god, dude, same here.
It is stacked. All the roads are cleared, but you've got in front of all the houses, you've got feet of snow, 3-4 feet of just piles of snow all along the roads, and everybody's out there just shoveling and keeping those roads clean, keeping everybody safe in the community. So I appreciate everybody out there doing their part. So how was your New Year's, Jimmy? What did you get up to this year?
Well, this year I have been working as a casual, so I got all those shifts that landed on holidays. So I worked last night from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. So I really didn't do a lot. Played some PS4 with the youth, hung out, did a lot of snow shoveling because it snowed all night. We got about another 4 inches of snow, I'd say. But yeah, I had a pretty quiet New Year's, just worked and hung out there.
So that's your responsibility then when you're on shift, is if it snows to go out front of the house that you are monitoring and shovel to keep everyone safe.
I have to make sure the driveway's clear, the front walkway, and a few of the parking spots.
Do you ever feel like you're doing more than just your job? Like you're doing your civil duty when you shovel those sidewalks?
Not necessarily. I do enjoy it, just because it's pushing snow around. It's kind of fun. But beyond that, I don't really think too much about it. It's kind of just menial labor. Just go push some snow. And
it's not bad. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's really simple.
Yeah, for sure. So now that we're past New Year's Eve and we're into New Year's Day, and it's only going to be, this is just the beginning of the next 365. Now, everybody comes into this day with this mentality that they're going to make all these big changes and then that they're ready and that 2017 is going to be the year for them. No matter what the year before was, it doesn't matter because this year is going to be better. But I feel like there's also been a lot of negativity that came along with 2016. I think we talked about that a little bit on the last episode. But what do you look forward to in 2017? What is there that is so exciting that you think, man, this is it. This is the year. I'm going to break through. I'm going to kill it.
Well, for me, I think this year is really appealing because I'm not necessarily in anything that I have to stick with. Last year I started out, I was still in school and I completed it about halfway through the year. So this year, to me, it just feels like the first year that's completely open in terms of my my progress through life and what I want to get done. So I feel like there's just a lot more possibilities for completing all sorts of fun, cool things this year. Especially this podcast. I'm really excited to keep this going and see where this takes us. But I also feel like I want to do some travel this year and maybe probably move somewhere else at some point this year. I'm not really sure where everything's going to go yet, but I'm pretty excited. Some stuff might happen here and there.
Yeah. So I wanna elaborate a little bit on some of that. So you say you want to do some fun things, you want to travel. I feel like everybody, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people go into it with these ideas that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and they're going to, but I feel that they approach that with such a vague description in their head that they don't even really understand it themselves.
Yeah.
So with you saying these things, do you have any specifics that you want to do? Because we all know that if you write down, I want to travel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you might travel one day, but if you write down specifically where you want to travel, when you want to travel there, that goal becomes a lot more obtainable.
Yes.
So do you have any specific things in mind, as in what you want to do this year and things that you want to accomplish?
In terms of travel, I do have two specific places that I would like to go.
Where?
Currently, I am working on figuring out a trip to Oregon, Portland in particular, where I'll be driving down, probably doing a little bit of a road trip and going to a bunch of different breweries because I am an avid fan of beer. And probably do a bit of camping, exploring, go chasing waterfalls. I know there's a song that says don't, but I have to.
Waterfalls are beautiful. Why wouldn't you want to chase
they're
that?
amazing. I have to.
That's one of my favorite parts about life, is literally just chasing those moments in time where you can look outward into the world, whether you're in a deep, dense, beautifully green forest, or you're on some snowy white mountaintop, or maybe you're on a sunny beach. Like those moments in time, in life,
beautiful places on the planet.
Yeah, they're like unfathomable. Like you can't even think about them, you can't even imagine them until you're there, until you're in that moment when you're so present because of the earth and everything that it is. It takes over your mind. Everything else becomes irrelevant. Everything is there for that moment.
Exactly.
I live for those moments.
Speaking of which, the second place I would like to go is Iceland.
Ooh, that's a little bit farther than Portland.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so what appeals about Iceland?
I have a few things. Iceland has some crazy geography. They have black beaches. They have beautiful mountains, waterfalls, just crazy diverse little place. There's just so many cool things. I follow a lot of Instagram stuff that's just posts of Iceland and just different cool things.
Just Iceland.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
There's amazing stuff there to see. And part of their culture that I really like is the fact that I believe a lot of them still believe in the existence of elves, which is pretty cool. They believe that they're these invisible beings. I can't explain the whole folklore behind it, but it's really cool. So I want to kind of just go and explore their culture.
It kind of sounds like something similar to the Irish and the leprechauns.
I think so. I think it might be something similar. But I think in some terms there's some creation myth where these elves were part of a creation that humans were also part of. So they look very similar. and they were hidden by some other god or some other force from the god of creation, and then that god ended up finding out and deemed that they forever had to be invisible in their existence, because if they were hidden from him, they had to be hidden from the world, or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of want to go and explore that a little bit.
So, sorry, was there a reason that God wanted to make the elves invisible?
Making them invisible was due to them being hidden from him, I believe.
Oh,
So
I see.
he was like
Okay.
bad and was like, "You're invisible forever because I can't see you." So,
I wonder, in the eyes of the creator, how did they manage to pull that trick off?
I don't know.
He would have made them that way, but yet somehow they managed to hide from him.
I'm not entirely sure if it's like monotheistic or.
I don't know what that means.
That means like a single god.
Got you.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the Greek gods.
Yeah, that's like the pantheon.
Right.
Pantheistic is multiple gods.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to go check out Iceland. You've heard about some of their history and about some of their culture. They've got some really cool black beaches. Tell me a bit about those. What makes them black?
The sand itself is actually black.
The sand is black.
I think it's due to like the volcanoes and stuff that Iceland has.
Do you think it's like ash?
Kind of, but it's actually just black sand. So I don't really know. I have not done a lot of research. It's one of those places where I kind of want to just go and explore.
First-hand experience.
Yeah.
Learn everything about it.
I don't want to know everything when I go. I kind of want to just be like, well, I'm here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. I think when I went home for the holidays, I saw some cousins that I haven't seen in quite a long time, and I have a younger cousin. She's 16, and I was told about how she is going to Germany for a year exchange starting in August. And I remember some people doing that when I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
Always thought the idea was super cool, but it's very similar in the way that she's not expected to know everything about the country when she goes there.
Yeah.
But she's going there expecting to learn about the culture, expecting to learn about the language and the way that these people live.
Yeah.
And everything about their lives and about the way their world works. So I think that's super cool. I think it's a different way to learn. It's that angle of life that is, as opposed to, you can sit there and learn about something all day in a classroom, right? Somebody can tell you how to be a banker, but until you go and be a banker, or someone can tell you how to be an artist, but until you go be an artist, you're never going to understand it to the fullest extent that somebody with that first-hand experience is going to have.
Definitely. So reading it all on the internet, it's fine, but I'm not necessarily going to remember it or even care when I'm done reading it. So I feel that going and immersing myself in the culture itself is much more beneficial.
It's the only way to learn.
Exactly.
It's also, they say, when you take like a practical language, or when you learn a language, you're taught it in a certain way, but once you go into those countries, it's a whole different ballgame, because they develop a certain municipal dialect that doesn't reach other countries, or that doesn't have a specific rule that maybe thought in like the public school systems, or the way that we perceive it as. So that's super interesting. I like the idea of doing that. I think that's super cool, and I hope that you make that come true for yourself, and that you get to have that experience.
Thank you. I do have to ask you, do you have any plans or goals for this year? Anything that you feel you will accomplish, or that you want to accomplish?
That's a great question. It's funny because we talk about these things, and I feel like this has happened before where I ask you a question, something along those lines, and then you send the question back my way, and I don't have an
Always.
answer. And I never have an answer. I never think about it because I'm always so interested in what other people have to say.
Yeah.
And now when you throw it in my direction, thinking about it at this very moment, I think that my goals this year are I would have to say they are very what's the word I'm looking for? They're my own. Like they are very like I just want to create. I just want to become better.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's just
Okay.
very much about me in terms of like who I am as a person and
Yeah.
and like my spirituality and like my growth. Like I really want to focus on my growth and there's some certain changes that I have to make in my life and that I'm well aware of. There's certain things
Mm-hmm.
that I need to continue to practice, and I'm going to continue doing that. I came into the new year not with saying that I was making these resolutions. I was not coming in saying that
Yeah.
on the first, I'm going to do this once a week, or I'm going to do this every day, and I'm going to make these changes. I just knew what I was doing, and I knew weeks ago like what I wanted to accomplish going into this next year. And I didn't wait till the first to start. I just started doing it.
Yeah.
Like at that moment, like so it's just I didn't need January 1st to tell me that okay, you can work towards your goal now.
You can be a better person now.
Yeah, I was like, no, like I know what I have to do. I know the steps I want to take and the direction I want to go in, and I'm ready to do that.
Yeah.
And I just went for it. And so I've been in that process right now. I'm working towards new goals. I'm working on developing my creative talents, my creative ambitions. I'm working on myself in a very physical sense. I'm doing everything I need to do to be happy. And I am happy. And that's what makes me happy is the fact that I've taken these steps and I figured these things out where I don't need to wait for something to happen to make me happy or to get me where I want to be. Because I am where I want to be. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm enthusiastic about everything that I'm doing, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the next step, and I'm continue to keep working at my happiness and to keep working on myself. So that's my goal overall: is to just stay where I'm at mentally, and
I like it. That's a good
just to
goal.
keep going and just to kind of keep trucking forward and just see where it takes me, because obviously we all have setbacks.
Yeah.
We're not always in a full sprint. We're not always finishing the race first, but as long as I tell myself that's okay, I can come in second place today because I'm going to work just as hard tomorrow, and maybe I'll come in first tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm in a little bit of pain today, but that's okay. That pain will go away because tomorrow I'm going to be strong. Tomorrow I'm going to work at being strong. I'm going to be strong like an ox. So I'm just ready, man. I'm excited. 2017 is here. It's a new day. It's a new year. I'm in the right mind state and I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Let's do it.
I love it. I love the attitude. Very positive.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to
Positive
it.
outflowing of energy. That's good.
Yeah. So what else do we have on our subjects for tonight, Jimmy? What would you like to talk about? What would we like to tell the people?
Well, since we are in a new year, I believe it's always good to look back and review what you've just gone through. So I have a classic New Year's question for you.
Damn, I love it. Hit me with it.
What are your peak and pit of the year? So what was the best part of your year? Something that you feel was something that you accomplished or something you experienced? And what was the worst part? Something that you feel you could have done better, or you wish you'd never, well, not necessarily that you wish you didn't experience, or you wish the experience was a little different. I know it's the hard questions.
Once again,
Questions.
Good question, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what my year was like. My year was a crazy one. I went through a lot of things. I've gone through these setbacks in my life, and I always come out of them, and I always come out of it a little bit wiser, a little bit smarter, and a little bit more ready and understanding of the world around me. So I went through this setback, I got myself out of it, and then not only did I get myself out of it, but I took like 10 steps out of that on to the next and like thing to improve and get ready. So there was a lot of things going on. I was struggling mostly with addictions. You know, I was weak. I was going through this phase in my life where I was getting taken advantage of. I was struggling. I was still going to work every day. I was still doing what I had to do. And I managed to get to a place where I was able to stop. I was able to collect my thoughts. I was able to fix my home situation. I was able to reevaluate my goals and priorities and values. And so that was a big one. And so I would say
it sounds like it's all kind of mixed together in that one.
the thing that I value most in this last year is probably, I would say, if I had to break it down to one thing, I would say Julia Cameron. Like, hands down,
Yeah. Okay.
one of the biggest things, the most valued thing that I have in my mind. We've talked about it before. For those who don't know, she's an author. She wrote a book called The Artist's Way. It's a book about connecting your spirituality and creativity. And I've just been working with this book, and it's allowed me to get into a mental space that I never thought I would reach, and I never thought was possible. But I'm so grateful for being there. It helped me kick some of my addictions. It helped me get into a space where I'm becoming comfortable with my art. It got me practicing yoga and meditating every day. Not every day, sorry, I shouldn't say that, but regularly.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And I also have to give a shout out to Olivia, because she, almost to the day, like we have been together to this day. Last year, I went on my first date with her, and it was huge. And I just remember spending that time with her, and I was so grateful for it because it was great. And just the connection that we share is awesome. And obviously, everybody's going to say that about their better half. And I love that people can even just speak about that way about another person. I'm super grateful for her. We're coming up on our 1 year anniversary, so I won't even get to see her on that day because I will be working, and which is unfortunate, but she understands. We understand. We are both busy. I think one thing that she understands as well as I do is that we have our lives first, and we are what's important, and then we get to share our lives with each other. And so the lessons, the trials and tribulations of a developing relationship has been very beneficial, and I'm very appreciative for everything that she has provided me with. So, peaks of my year, 2 ladies, Olivia Kwan, Julia Cameron. I don't even know one of them. but I know another one pretty well. So, yeah. And then the peaks, man, it was just hard times. I mean, I got out of school and, just financial stress and everything like that. And addiction, it was a hard one. And there's a lot of that stuff going on. There's a lot of troubles in the city, and I've seen it. And people are hurting. People aren't doing well. And it's, but through all the goods, I've just learned to put those things away. I've learned to deal with those stresses and learned to deal with that. So overall, it's just been about, and that's why I'm so excited to go into this year with just keeping this train going of what I've learned and everything that I've grown to be. And I just want to keep growing and keep moving
Continuing
forward.
that progress.
Yeah. So that's what I'm excited for. So sorry that was kind of long.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Or, just a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm really excited for it. It was a hard year. It was a very beneficial year, and I look forward to seeing what the next one brings me.
I like the fact that you've turned your negative part into your positive
That's what
for
it's
that
all
year.
about, right?
Exactly.
You know, you just got to learn to like change that perspective. I knew that I was doing things that were hurting me, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just about doing something else to make me feel better, because that wasn't going to solve the negativity. That was just going to divert the attention for a little bit, and when you divert that attention, it's only a matter of time before you go back.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to deal with that negativity. And so I didn't even just like look at it. I like full on head on confronted it. Like I was in like a jousting match with it. I was like, yo, like I'm done. Like I'm coming out of this on top. I've got my javelin, I've got my armor, I'm on the back of a horse, I'm in an arena with like thousands of people. Like I was ready. Everybody saw me. I was coming in. So I went in and I came out on top, and I couldn't feel better about it.
I like it, man. That's positive. It makes me feel good for you.
Yeah, so yeah, it was good. I mean, I learned a lot, and I only look forward, and I hope that everyone else has as good of a 2017 as I hope to have. That I am so positive down to my insides that I'm gonna have this year. I'm gonna have this fucking awesome year, and I'm excited for it.
I like it.
Jimmy,
Yes.
if anybody wanted to find out more about us or reach out to us, where might they find us?
Well, they could send some comments or questions to rootsoflifepodcast@gmail.com or to our Twitter at rootsoflifepod. What else do we have, Taylor?
We do have a Patreon page. For those
We
of you
do.
that don't know, patreon.com is a website developed for creatives and creatives only. So if you're not a creative, get away. No, I'm kidding. It's all great. It's for everyone. We are on this website as a way to connect with our listeners. If you have $1 to spare, if you are feeling generous, feel free to go to patreon.com/rootsoflife, and you can communicate with us.
You can influence the show.
You can influence the show. You can potentially get bonus episodes that we've recorded. Me and Jimmy managed to get together right before the holidays and do a couple episodes together, which is awesome. We were in the same studio. We got to kick back and drink some tea and have a good time, and that was great. So if you didn't know, now you know. Everybody, that is where you can find us. Taylor and Jimmy at the Roots of Life Podcast. Roots of Life Pod on Twitter. Hit us up. Let us know. Comments, questions, anything. We want to hear it. If you support us, we support you. We love you. Thank you very much. Jimmy, I have another question for you.
Yes.
What were your peaks and your valleys of 2016?
Mine are pretty simple.
Not like mine.
Not going to be as long. No, definitely not.
Okay, let's hear it. What do you got?
So my peak, I was definitely very happy to finally complete my 5 years of school and graduate with a BA in psychology.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank
that
you.
deserves
Thank
a
you.
round of applause.
Thank you. So that is definitely my peak. It's an amalgamation of the last 5 years, I guess. So, and the pit, I believe, I was not in a very good headspace. I think it was this last July and partly into August. I wasn't doing too well. I had just moved to Kamloops. Didn't have any friends. Was working in a place that I did not really like, and was just not in a very happy place. So I think that month and a bit there is probably my pit of the year.
What did you do to change that around?
Well, I got another job, and that was very helpful. And then I quit that job that I didn't like because it was not fun, and I felt degraded as a human being. So
Tell the people, Jimmy, what were you doing?
I was serving, and part of my job, I'm not saying that this is necessarily the degrading bit. A lot of the people that I was serving were the part that were degrading, but I was also wearing a kilt. So that also didn't really go too well with me. But
Right.
hey,
That's your own thing, right? If you
my
don't
own
want to
thing.
wear a kilt, you don't got to wear a kilt. I always remember my cousins wearing kilts and coming out to my family reunions playing bagpipes, and I thought they were the coolest motherfuckers around. I was like, damn, I
That's
wish I could play
totally
that.
cool. Like, if you could play bagpipes and wear a kilt, awesome. But if you have to wear a kilt and then the shirt for the restaurant that you work for, not as cool. Not as cool.
No, that doesn't sound too fun.
No.
Well, I'm glad you made that change, Jimmy. It is not easy to recognize when things are making you feel crappy or when things are dragging you down. It's important to recognize those things and to be able to make those changes in your life, because ultimately your happiness is what's important. Your
Exactly.
well-being is what is going to influence the world around you.
You got to express your positive energy throughout the world, and to do that, you have to be feeling positive on the inside.
It's true. How do you plan on changing the world or making the world a better place when you don't have the happiness inside that the world requires?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You have to be ready to make these changes for yourself, especially going into a new year. 2017 is coming up.
It's here. It is here. Happy 2017,
It
everyone.
is. Happy 2017.
And I'd just like to say, everyone, remember to stay positive this year. Don't let life just pass you by. Try and be creative and try and push forwards each day. Try and do something new, learn something, change something. Just be you.
Every day presents a new challenge. And just because you're not in your tip top today doesn't mean you can't be tomorrow.
I like it.
Keep that smile strong. Keep your hands strong. Keep your legs strong. Build yourself up physically. Build yourself up mentally so that you can move forward in this world and you can infect the world with that beautiful smile that we are all capable of.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight on the Roots of Life podcast. I am your host, Taylor. With me, my co-host, James Fitzgerald. Thank you for joining me tonight, Jimmy. One more time, if you would like to find us, feel free to reach out to us at the Roots of Life podcast at gmail.com, Roots of Life pod on Twitter, patreon.com/Roots of Life if you would like to donate or have any questions. If you're having any doubts going into 2017, feel free to reach out to us. I would love to hear from you guys. We're going to get this up as soon as possible because we don't want to miss that wave. We want everybody to see this come the new year. We want everybody to be thinking about the new year and the way they're going to tackle it. Remember, keep your goals realistic. If you are setting a New Year's resolution for yourself, don't go trying to go to the gym 7 days a week. Don't limit yourself to no sugar. Don't limit yourself or force yourself to try and meditate 7 days a week. If you can do it, that's amazing. But you know what? It's a lot better to set it 1 day a week or 2 days a week. And then if you do more, you're going to feel great about it. You're not going to feel crap because you missed out on a day or two. Set your sights at a minimal spot. And when you exceed those goals, because we all know you will, we are all capable of it, you will feel even better and you won't feel like you shorted yourself. So keep an open mind, everybody. The new year is here. Smoke some weed, get lifted, expand your thoughts, expand your mind. If you have questions, comments, feel free to reach out to us. We love you. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Thanks.